everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Daniel Bryan and Booker T. And today on NXT, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Monday Night Raw. Yesterday on Monday Night Raw, we saw Pat McAfee beat Autolycus. And Sonya Deville is still the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yeah, we saw that happen yesterday, Daniel Bryan says. And she's been throwing her weight around so far, believing that no one can handle her. And thinking that she's not answerable to anyone, Daniel Bryan says. Well, the truth is she's not answerable to anyone, Booker T says. The only one she's truly answerable to is the force setter and head leadership wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, Astronema, and I don't think she's going to show up to lay down the law for Sonya Deville. Here comes Sonya Deville coming to the ring now. Alright, folks. I'm the main wicker. Stand up! I am the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. And that means I'm booking myself in a match against Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight winnings coming up at next In Your Bedroom. Or whatever show we're going to do, towards the end of May. And Roman Reigns, you will lose to me, because here today, I'm going to put you in a bind. I'm going to have Roman Reigns is going to go one-on-one with Pat McAfee and Mechagodzilla, or Tool Godzilla. Hold on here, Sonya Deville. I am Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I am the sheriff of the toy wrestling gathering. And you done two things that went against Stone Cold's law. One, you fired Autolycus, the king of thieves. Two, you already throwing your weight around as the first wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. Well, Sheriff Austin, I can throw my weight around because I, the first wicker of the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. Yeah, and you already handicapped Roman Reigns taking on Tool Godzilla and dipshit Pat McAfee. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to play right, or I'll make you follow my oversights. Oh, you think you can make me follow your oversights? Yep, you are going against my law right now. And what are you going to do about it? Well, I can do a lot of things because I have free range. I could fire you, bring back Autolycus as the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. But I think what I'll do is I'll just dump him pothole and he just gave Sonya Deville the stunner. That's what you get, main wicker Sonya Deville, for not following Stone Cold's law. Well, looks like the day's already going, bad to worse for, Sonya Deville. Looks like the day's already going bad, for Sonya Deville. And and she already got stunnered by the shit. And up. Stand up. You know, by the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let go. Let go. Oh, that's not going to work. Well, how can you say that's fair? Shit. I mean, how can you say that's fair, Gorilla Monsoon? I mean, how can you say that's fair, Gorilla Monsoon? There you go. There we go. How can you say that's fair, Gorilla Monsoon? Booker T says that Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned Sonya Deville. She's the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering. Well, I could tell you what, Booker T, she might be the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, but she's not above, not higher than Steve Austin's law. So would you stop, Gorilla Monsoon says. And sadly, now we have a match that Roman Reigns might not be, might not be skilled enough to get out of, Daniel Bryan says. I mean, this is a handicap match. And sadly, this is only, Sonya Deville is only doing this to weaken down Roman Reigns. So, she can fairly beat him. Ding-ding. And Tolga Jor just slammed it down Roman Reigns. And Pat McAfee, who, by the way, Gorilla Monsoon says, we all know that Pat McAfee is an underling to Sonya Deville because he's the one that helped Sonya Deville beat Autolycus to become the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yes, that's all true, Daniel Bryan said. Go back to Power and Might, and you'll see what we're talking about, Daniel Bryan says. Well, is anyone going to do anything about Roman Reigns is in a bind right now? And Roman Reigns can't beat two folks. There's no way he can make it work. Oh! And Tolga Jor just took down Roman Reigns again. Roman Reigns is in a bind right now. Tolga Jor holding him, Gorilla Monsoon. Oh! And Pat McAfee just made a mistake and took down Tolga Jor. Overman. Spear on Pat McAfee. Spear on Tolga Jor, Gorilla Monsoon says. And you know what's coming up next? Daniel Bryan says. It's going to be the Overman strike. That's what's coming up next. Yep, here it is. Overman strike on Pat McAfee. Spear on Pat McAfee. Spear on Tolga Jor. And Roman Reigns is going to cover Tolga Jor. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns just beat both Pat McAfee and Tolga Jora here today, here today on NXT, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, you got that right, Pat. You got that right, Daniel Bryan says. We saw Sonya Deville book Roman Reigns in a handicap match, but we saw Roman Reigns, win. And Sonya Deville wanted to stack the stakes against Roman Reigns, and it didn't work, Gorilla Monsoon said. You got that right, Daniel Bryan said. It didn't work at all. I'm going to tell you right now, Booker T says, Roman Reigns is beaten down. Sonya Deville is going to get that win against Roman Reigns. He will not. She will not. Will you stop? Take it away, Sarah Shiver. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking with Roman Reigns here today on NXT. Alright, Roman Reigns, we saw you in the ring with Tolga Jora and Pat McAfee, and I have to believe that was a match just to soften you up. Oh, Sonya Deville wants to get one over on the king, on the kinhead, on the highest leader, the overlord, the overwatcher, the king. Well, let me tell you something, Sonya Deville. I just beat Pat McAfee and Tolga Jora. And if I could beat those two, that means I'm going to beat you. So you're not worried about your match with Sonya Deville coming up towards the end of the 5th month. No, I'm not worried about that at all. Sonya Deville should be worried about losing to me, Sarah Shiver. And I do think it's funny that Steve Austin gave her a stunner in the beginning of the show. So at the end, I smashed him, stacked him, covered him, got the 1-2 free, and if I could do that to Pat McAfee and Tolga Jora, you could insight what I'm going to do to Sonya Deville. Well, that's my talk with Roman Reigns. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Sarah Shiver, for talking with Roman Reigns here today on NXT. That's all the time we got it for NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Daniel Bryan and Booker T. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for a Dynamite or Might.